Breaking now at 11, 16 people confirmed dead in the California wildfires as new evacuations are ordered. Tonight, new fears the massive fires will only continue to grow. Good evening. I'm Jessica Moore. At this hour, there are 4 major fires burning across Los Angeles. Together, they have destroyed more than 12,000 structures, devastated entire neighborhoods, and sent tens of thousands of people fleeing for their lives. And with new worries, the fires will spread into other parts of Los Angeles County. Officials plan to shut off power to some locations. We have team coverage of the deadly fires tonight, including details on how the weather over the next few hours could affect the firefight. Let's begin with Ashley Sharp, live on the ground in Los Angeles. Ashley.
Jessica, we've been chasing the Palisades fire line all afternoon as the largest of the fires continues to grow. But we just wanted to take a step back and show you what the fire has left in its path. This is the Pacific Palisades community where home after home on block after block looks just like this. As the Los Angeles skyline sparkles behind me, what sits above it is a ghost town. Planes dropped flame retardant from the sky, hoping to prevent the Palisades fire from ravaging even more of Los Angeles County. This week, multiple wildfires have destroyed countless homes, businesses, and cars, while forcing hundreds of thousands of residents to evacuate. So far, the fires have consumed an area larger than San Francisco.
Our top priority remains saving lives and protecting property.
As Saturday wore on, winds picked up again, heightening concern that the wildfire, already the most destructive in LA history, could move to more densely populated areas.
Ground crews and aerial assets worked through the night in the Mandeville Canyon area, creating containment lines and protecting structures, continuing a full suppression effort.
Homes here in the Mandeville Canyon have burned as the Palisades fire rages on for hours with no clear end in sight.
When we first started out in this area about an hour ago, the air was relatively clear. Now the wind has shifted and now we're back in the smoke.
LA's police chief says a new task force will investigate the cause of the catastrophic fires.
This task force is made up of local, state, and federal partners designed to investigate the cause of these fires and to see if there's any connection between them.
On Saturday, law enforcement warned people who have been driving up to get a closer look at the blazes to stay away. The Palisades fire has just been so devastatingly destructive, and these fire crews, as we enter night 5 of this relentless firefight, are up against so much. Not only a rapidly moving and changing fire that's even creating its own weather storms within itself, they're having to battle the wind that's moving it to different parts of the Los Angeles community. So that's what we're going to be tracking tonight and keeping a close eye on.
All right, Ashley Sharp, live for us tonight. Ashley, thank you. Team coverage continues now with our own Christina Fan. She is live for us in Brentwood, where Ashley just mentioned crews continue battling the Palisades fire. Christina.
Good evening, Jess. Behind us, you're looking at what remains of the eastern front of the Palisades fire. And for the last couple of hours, there has been a very, very intense aerial fight. In fact, in the distance, you can hear the hum of several helicopters that are circling the area, and they have been working despite increasing wind speeds. We've been camped out at this vantage point now for 2 nights, watching firefighters try to hold the line, because on the very next ridge where we are standing right now, there are several clusters of home. Firefighters have made lots of progress, relentlessly dropping water and retardant into the canyon. And in this daylight video, you can see those reddish streaks and the fire staying boxed in those lines. You can also see a home at the very bottom of the canyon that firefighters have so far been able to save. But just in case the aerial attacks do not hold, firefighters need a backup plan, and that is why there was a team of 7 to 8 dozers in this neighborhood, cutting down the dry, low-lying vegetation on a nearby hill, getting rid of any fuel that could easily light up. This neighborhood is under a mandatory evacuation, and families told us they were taking no chances as they packed up to leave.
Some study and talking to some firemen before, and my understanding is that if the fire come to the ridge, it's getting very close. But the minute it comes down, then it becomes very dangerous, because after they come down, the next thing is coming up process is really fast. And if they already starting down, and if we wait until they start coming up, it was too late. So we decided to do that, to evacuate at that time.
And as you just heard, that gentleman told us he was really contemplating on whether or not to stay, but after consulting with those firefighters and remembering the images earlier this week of the Palisades fire decimating entire communities, he did not want to take that chance. Now, with the wind speeds expected to pick up again soon and those Santa Ana winds to really power up and last through the middle of next week with no rain in sight, we expect a very, very tough firefight for firefighters ahead. And that is why tonight is so important for them to try and gain the upper hand here. Reporting live from Brentwood, I'm Christina Fan, CBS News, New York.
Oh, yeah, Christina, thank you. It seems like the situation is changing minute by minute. Cannot imagine the anxiety and uncertainty. Let's go to Mahsa Saeidi now. She's live in Los Angeles with emotional stories from evacuees. And Mahsa, I can't imagine the emotion, the anxiety, the fear of what's going to happen next. I'm sure you heard stories like that tonight.
Yeah, stories like that all day, Jessica. Good evening to you. I'm told that right now there's about 190 veterans at this shelter behind me. They all live together in a community that was created for them nearby in Brentwood. And around 1 a.m. this morning, when we saw that horrific blaze, the Palisades fire, start to ignite again and start to spread, they were told that it is time to get out. So this is where they're going to be sleeping, Jessica, in cots. And they also told me, several of them, that they're cold, that they have a very light blanket, but that's all they have. But the good news is that they are in the process of bringing them more blankets as well, and their homes are expected to be okay. That has not been the case in other shelters that we visited today. Earlier, we were in Westwood, where so many families that we spoke with, they had lost everything, including a young woman from Malibu.
This is my pet goat, Coco. She got traumatized by the fire. She lost her house and her comfortable home, and it's been really hard on her. I'm just trying not to think about it. You know, when it first happened, I didn't even process it, and then all of a sudden, like 5 hours later, it hit me when I was like, oh, but everything's gonna be okay after a few days, like we're just gonna go home. And then I was like, there is no home. It sucks, but like, I mean, it's worse for Coco, so you know, it's just like whatever.
I lost everything. My boyfriend, I thought I was going to his house to be safe, but his house burned down too. So it's overwhelming. I've never lost a house before.
It's unimaginable. You know, the woman you just interviewed, she thought she would go to her boyfriend's house. That house had also been demolished. We know a lot of people have gotten out, but the people who are there, are they getting the help they need? Are the resources plentiful enough? What's the situation?
So we found out today from FEMA that about 16,000 people had begun that process to try to get aid from FEMA that would cover the cost of housing, that would cover the cost of food, that would cover any uninsured losses they have. We also know that state insurance officials are in the process of holding workshops to walk people through that insurance claims process, which can be so incredibly daunting. And just to clarify what I said earlier, some of the people here tell me they're cold, the blankets they have, it's just not enough. But the staff here, they're in the process of trying to bring them heavier blankets. The temperature has really dropped, and it's very chilly out here, and we hope that they get the blankets they need to be comfortable in here.
Yeah,
Jessica?
Of course. I knew what you meant, Mahsa. You know, they don't have their creature comforts anymore, right? The volunteers are doing the best they can, but everyone wants their homes, you know. All right, Mahsa, thank you so much. Meteorologist Vanessa Murdock is here now with a look at how the weather will impact the firefight in the days ahead. Vanessa, we've talked a lot about these winds, the Santa Ana winds, and how the firefight can change minute to minute.
Yes, and you heard Christina discuss how the winds are expected to be ramped up through Wednesday. That will be an ebb and flow of the Santa Ana winds. Right now, current gusts are at 40 miles per hour in Santa Clarita, 72 in San Bernardino, 30 in Topanga. Winds are anticipated to gust 30 to 50 miles per hour on and off over the next several days. There is a red flag warning in play for both Los Angeles and Ventura counties, where critical fire conditions will persist into the midweek. It's not just the winds, but low relative humidity as well. Here's the projection. Winds will stay powerful tonight through tomorrow morning. 6:30 tomorrow morning, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts in Santa Clarita. As we take it into tomorrow afternoon and evening, the winds do subside. But by Monday afternoon, the winds are once again ramping up, and they're expected to stay powerful through at least Tuesday. But again, the red flag warning right now in play through Wednesday. Your local forecast is coming up in just a bit. Jessica, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Vanessa. We heard Mahsa talking about the need for donations. Today, New Yorkers showed up in strong support of the California fire victims. People dropped off clothes and other necessities outside a bar in the East Village. Organizers say they collected everything from new clothing and towels to dog toys. Now organizers are looking for a partner to cover the high shipping costs. And CBS is working with the Red Cross to help those affected by the wildfires. To donate, scan the QR code on your screen or head to a website, redcross.org/CBS.